Hey friends, Lissa here for another video. Today in the mail I got this awesome vegan cycling shirt from Hill Killer. I don't have a bike yet. I'm gonna get one for next summer, but because I want to do a lot of cycling next summer, and I saw this. It's got a cute little V on the side and I just had to have it, so I got it. But it's pretty awesome. And this video is going to be about what I experienced as a raw vegan for 1 year, because as most of you know, 2 days ago on September 12th, 2015, it was my 1 year raw vegan anniversary, or raw-niversary as most people like to call it. So I wanted to go over a list of things that I've noticed aside from the weight loss, because a lot of people are always talking about the weight loss, so I want to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. But I did not do this for weight loss. I knew I would lose weight. You lose weight when you're really healthy, but it wasn't my main goal. My main goals were obviously for the animals, for the planet, and for my health, but it was more for health for me, not weight loss. So I want to go over all of the other things, because I had a bunch of questions, I think I said that, about what I experienced in this last year being a raw vegan. So I'm going to start with the most important thing that I noticed that made the biggest impact on my life, again, aside from the weight, has been my skin clearing up. A lot of you know that my skin was absolutely horrible when I started, and I will post pictures here. So as you can see, I had really bad skin. I tried all sorts of things. I tried all sorts of diets. I tried omega oils. I tried taking a lot of healthy fats for your skin, and no matter like months and months of doing these supplements or skincare routines like creams and organic everything and you name it, it didn't help the problem. It was an internal thing, and it was basically based on what I was eating. For me, I was eating the wrong ratio of fats, carbs, and proteins. I was eating way too many healthy fats, way too much protein, and everything was cooked pretty much. I mean, I'd have salads here and there, but nothing was, you know, as raw as obviously what I am today. But most people eat like 50% raw, lots of cooked, but I was pretty much like 80 to 90% cooked all the time. I mean, I steamed my veggies, all of that kind of stuff, but I never found something that helped my acne as well as a raw food diet. And this time, it took approximately 3 months before I really started to notice. It did get worse before it got better, because I was in a cleansing mode. My body was getting rid of a lot of stuff, so I did break out a little bit more than normal especially in the first 45 days. It was pretty bad. Actually, I can post a video of it right here for you guys.
Hi everyone. So as you can see, my face is very inflamed. I'm on day 45, fully raw. I feel amazing. I have so much energy, and I woke up this morning about 45 minutes before my alarm, and I was just up and ready to go, which is really weird because I'm not a morning person. So, that's awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do about this problem here. Just kind of, I don't know. Anyways, keep you posted.
So as you can see, I didn't ever want to share that, but I thought might as well share it now, because it's been 1 year, and that was approximately 45 days into my raw journey. About 3 months in, they started to completely go away, and by month 4, month 5-ish, they were pretty much completely gone, and I started my YouTube channel. So most of you didn't see how my skin was before, because I didn't have my YouTube channel up by then. So that was the biggest impact that I've had personally as a raw vegan, was my skin clearing up, and my skin's really, really nice and soft all over. I really love it. I do have stretch marks on my sides here and down behind my calf, just from the weight loss, and that's just something that happens. I mean, with time, maybe they'll lighten up, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't bother me. I think I look great, so I'm not worried about it at all. What else? Okay, I have a list here. My sleep. Sleep is another huge one. I used to wake up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, every single morning, feeling like I was dying. Seriously, my heart would be pounding out of my chest and I would feel like I was having a heart attack. It was actually kind of scary, to the point that I didn't actually want to go to sleep every night because I was scared of what was going, I was going to wake up, and then you wake up and your heart's pounding and you think, what if I actually did have a heart attack? I would die. And then I started thinking about death, and it was not a good place to be in, especially waking up and feeling shocked. And it happened pretty much every single night. Since becoming a raw vegan and since giving up energy drinks and coffees, which I know were probably the majority of that problem, since giving those up and becoming a raw vegan, I sleep through the night. I sleep less, probably 5 hours, maybe 6, and I'm up at 4:30 to 5:30 every morning, naturally without an alarm, and I can get up and get stuff done. I feel like I have longer days. I feel like they're more productive, and the sleep that I do have, even though it's a little bit now, it's really, really deep and fulfilling. So I find that this diet has greatly improved my energy levels and my sleep. So that is huge. Also, I don't snore at night anymore, apparently. I used to be woken up maybe like 10 to 15 times in the middle of the night, told to roll over, that kind of thing, because I was breathing funny. And I asked when the last time that happened, and he doesn't even remember. So I'm assuming it's been quite a long time that I haven't had that problem either. And I think that attributes to the fact that I can sleep through the night now, and that's amazing. Sleeping is awesome. My eyesight, I want to tell you guys a little story. I have had glasses since I was a little kid, probably 5 to 8, I think. And I have constantly, every single time I go see the eye doctor, they're worse. I have a really, 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 really strong prescription. And again, every single time I would go, they would get worse. I haven't gone to the eye doctor for about 3 years. And something happened to my glasses and I had to get them replaced. So I had to get my eyes checked. I got my eyes checked, and since it's been 3 years, I was expecting them to be worse. Obviously, I mean, I wasn't having any problems, but I was just expecting it because it's been like that my entire life. I've always had a worse prescription. However, we did the test, and it was really, really, really difficult for me to tell the difference between the two, which one was clearer, kind of thing. And she's looking at the health of my eyes, and the doctor was like, "Your eyes are really, really healthy." And she didn't see anything wrong with them, and was quite impressed. And she was also shocked because my prescription didn't change at all. So could be diet related, I'm not sure what, but it's a little bit of a coincidence that it happened this year. It happened approximately 7 months into raw, so it was 7 months worth of time for my eyes to either get better or stabilize or whatever they're doing, but that's cool. The optician was also quite shocked that I didn't have a worse prescription. So that's another bonus that I noticed. Whether it's diet related or not, doesn't matter, but that's another thing I've noticed this year. My teeth. I wrecked my teeth from years and years and years of drinking energy drinks and not caring for them because I was drinking a lot of energy drinks, eating a lot of candy, letting stuff sit in my mouth. The typical stuff that people do. And so for all of those years, I really damaged my teeth. This year on raw, they haven't gotten worse, which is a good sign. I rinse after acidic foods like lemons, or like really sugary, like my salads with my apple cider vinegar date dressings. I'll rinse after those. I wait an hour before brushing just to make sure that my teeth aren't soft. I use a remineralizing toothpaste. And I oil pull, not as often as I'd like to, but I do oil pull with coconut oil to help with that. And the thing I've noticed about my teeth is that they're no longer sensitive. I don't have problems with hot and cold. Not that I eat hot things anymore, but I do drink cold water. There's no sensitivity in my teeth like there used to be. It used to be so painful, but not anymore. So that's another one. My joints have improved dramatically. A story about 2 or 3 months ago, I needed to get something from underneath one of my studio beds that I haven't gone under for a long time. So I had to grab these things from underneath the bed. So I automatically braced myself for the joint pain that my knees were going to go through as I bent down to get onto the floor. When I got onto the floor, there was zero pain, and I was kind of confused as to why, you brace yourself and then you don't feel it. You really notice it. And I've noticed that when I go running, they don't hurt like they used to. Yeah, they used to be really, really painful, really hard to do squats. My knees would always feel like there was grit inside, and they would hurt when I would do squats and lunges and things like that. And now I can do them no problem, no pain in my joints at all. I think it has a lot to do with the hydration of the raw diet. It could have a lot of other reasons, a lot of antioxidants, maybe some collagen production going on in there, but I think hydration is a big one. My joints feel really, really fluid and really nice. My running, on that subject, I feel like I can run, and I can just run without any training. I know I shouldn't say you should do that, because you should train for stuff, but I can just get up and run 10K, and I've never, ever, 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 ever been able to do that. I feel like I have a greater lung capacity. My muscles sustain me longer, especially if I do bananas before and bananas after. I recover quite quickly from my long runs, which should be more often, but they're not. I gotta do more of those. But yeah, so my physical activity, when I do it, I feel much better. I feel like I have more energy to do things. I can lift heavier weights. I feel stronger. I just feel better when I exercise. So, and I actually want to exercise because I have the energy from all of the fruit and veggies that I eat. Female hormones have balanced out, and that happened around the 7-month mark. I noticed that, like, as time went on, my cycle became a lot more regular, and the symptoms became less and less and less and less. And now, 12 months later, I have zero symptoms. Like, I don't even know that my cycle's on its way. It just appears one day, and it only lasts 2 days, maybe 3. And that's it. It's done. And there's no pain. There's no PMS. There's no soreness. There's no moody. There's nothing. I don't even, it's just another day. So that is huge for me too, because I had a lot of problems when I was younger. Sometimes I would go 8 months without a period. Now it's very, 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 very regular and pain-free. So that's another bonus, but it took a long time for my body to balance out on that aspect. It's just a lot of things just take time. Your body just needs to heal up after you have been damaging it for a really long time with the bad stuff that you've been putting in. I don't feel dehydrated. And you know what's really weird? I hardly ever feel like I'm thirsty, which is a first for me because I used to never drink water. I noticed like my skin is much more plump. A lot of people say that I look years and years and years younger than I used to. And I attribute that to the amount of hydration that I'm getting from my fruits and vegetables. When I enter everything into Chronometer, it actually says that I get my daily eight glasses of water in my fruits and vegetables. Like, that doesn't even include the liter of lemon water that I drink in the morning or the water that I drink throughout the day if I feel like I need to top things up. But I never get thirsty. That's a good point to mention. Like, I do drink water throughout the day because I feel like I want the water, but I don't feel like I'm like thirsty, like I have to have water or you're like gonna die. I haven't felt that in a very, 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 very long time. Probably around month 2 even. Like, I just feel so hydrated. My bowels move very, very nicely. I know that's TMI, but it's a thing. So my bowels move really, really nicely because I'm not on the cooked food, which pulls hydration from your colon, and because you need hydration to digest the foods, but cooking them kind of concentrates the flavors, and that's another reason why we get addicted to them, because they're so concentrated in flavors. If you take the water out, all you have left is that small amount of flavor. But I do find that I am a lot more hydrated. I feel so much better now. Talk about two more things. I am not anxious anymore. I don't feel like anxious and depressed. It's a touchy subject for a lot of people. I did put on a good show. I would not pretend to be happy, but I would try to be really happy. But I just felt like crap. I didn't feel good, and I didn't like how my face looked with all the acne, and I didn't feel comfortable in my own body. I was sluggish and tired and dragging my butt around all the time, and I just didn't feel happy. I wasn't happy living every day feeling like this, like drudged down and like, yeah, I didn't it was making me depressed. And since becoming raw vegan and getting all of this nutrition into me and hydration and life, I feel amazing. I'm so happy every day. It's just awesome. I can't explain it. You have to be here to feel it. And on that note, talking about cravings, a lot of people ask about that because we have to let go of familiarity, easiness, tradition, celebrations, rewards, all of those things that we link to the foods that we ate or eat. Like, for example, chips with a movie. It's just a thing that we just do because we've always done it. But if you switch it and you have like chopped up veggies with a movie, it's the act of eating that is going to satisfy you, not what you're eating. And we have to break those links with our food, break the traditions, break the cultural habits, break the cultural dishes and things. And I know it can be hard because you grew up with it. It's part of your belief system. It's part of you. But if you let go and just say, I'm finished, and say goodbye, if you really work with your brain, it becomes a lot easier with time. Now, again, I've talked about this many times. I used to use a technique where I would actually imagine eating the foods that I wanted, and it did really, really, really help me. And I'll put a link to the description of 2 videos that I have on that. And it's just, the deeper you get into the imagining of the food, like the textures and the flavors, and you could even pretend you're in a restaurant enjoying it, the more detailed you get, the more your brain is appeased. And that is what I believe why cravings are mostly in the mind, because when I would do that, my mind would suddenly move on to something else and be like, oh yeah, I have this photo shoot tomorrow and I want to go for a run later and I should go take out the garbage or whatever. Like your brain just jumps onto something else and then you forget that you were actually craving it. So a lot of stuff is just in your mind and you have to work with yourself to let things go. It was about the 1 month mark where I felt that I was no longer craving because of the high fat in my bloodstream. It took about 3 weeks for that to level out so I could eat a lot of fruit and not get those insulin spikes that came from my past diet being really high in fat. I had to let my body filter through all that excess fat that I was eating before the fruit started to be used really efficiently in my body. And then around the 3 month mark was where I was like, cooked food? Meh. I didn't really care. I did have a couple cravings here and there, but again, I used my visualization technique to get over those. And today, I could care less about cooked food. And I'm being 100% honest with you guys. I know a lot of people probably don't believe me, and they're like, oh, I could love potatoes. I don't want them. I just don't care. When I think of food, I think of my raw salads. I think of my French dressing because I eat it pretty much every single day. And that's just what I eat. I don't get bored because it's not about being stimulated by my food. My food is fuel now, and I do enjoy it, but it's not an addiction. It's not something that I gotta have or really could go for a pizza today or something like that. Like, I just really don't care. The only time I ever see those foods is in my news feed, maybe a random commercial, billboards, or if I go to the mall, I see stuff in the food court. The other day someone said something about spaghetti, and I was like, oh yeah, that existed. Like, I forget what some of this stuff is. And it just comes with time. It comes with working with your brain and meditation and really getting over that connection that we have to food and just rewire your brain to believe that the fruits and vegetables are your fuel and they're your love. And Twinkies, for example, when Twinkies were gonna go away, everyone was having this big, huge freak out over Twinkies. If Twinkies never existed, no one would ever have a freak out because they wouldn't have existed. So you wouldn't have had a desire to have it because you wouldn't know it existed. So pretend that these foods don't exist. They are not food. Like I pretend cupcakes, for example, are decorations that smell like air fresheners. And I've rewired my brain to believe that they are actually just decorations. They're not actually edible. So there's a lot of little techniques that you can use with your brain to help retrain it, so you don't have to, deal with that as much. I mean, some people might never get over their cravings, and some people like me are like, meh, I don't really care. So I really want to have a nice big salad tonight. Lots of tomatoes. Hey guys, I didn't know what happened there. I got cut off, so I'll just start over. The last thing that I want to talk about, because I'm nearing the end of my video, which is going to be about 30 minutes, so I hope you guys like listening to me talk, is circulation. That's a big one because a lot of people will say, I can't do raw because I get cold in the winter. To me, I have something to say about that because I have been on both ends, and this is what I've experienced. When I was calorie restricting, back in the day, I was eating all cooked foods, pretty much all cooked foods, but I was freezing all the time. I was always cold, complaining it was cold. My husband would say, can you stop complaining that it's cold? I was always cold, yet I was eating a lot of cooked food, lots of comforty, starchy rice and potatoes and animal products and you name it. I was eating that, and yet I was still cold because I was calorie restricting. I was limiting the amount of calories that I was eating, so my metabolism was crappy. And a lot of people think that they need to cut calories to lose weight, which I don't agree with, because if you cut calories, you cut your nutrition. Most people who are cutting calories are eating very high protein and very high fat, which isn't good because you're just getting protein and fat and a very little bit of carbohydrates, which is your energy, and you feel tired and your body just starts to slow right down. Some people will lose weight because they're in starvation mode, but if you do it enough times, you will start to gain weight after calorie restriction. It's not sustainable because you will eventually need to go back to eating more calories because you can't starve yourself forever. So what's going to happen then? When you start eating more calories, you're just going to gain the weight back. Calories on a raw vegan diet, however, I am personally now at 2,400 to 2,700 calories a day because I don't want to keep losing weight. I have to maintain my weight, but with raw fruits and vegetables, it seems to be a real different ballgame because you can eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and not gain weight and actually lose weight. I lost all my weight on 2,300 calories a day, give or take, 2,100 to 2,300 calories. And that would be a lot for me back in the day. Back in the day, I would be like, 2,100 calories is way too much for me to eat. But because I was eating the wrong kinds of foods, it was too much for me to eat. So I would cut down to like 1,400, 1,500 calories sometimes. And I was freezing. Now that I'm raw and I'm getting a lot of energy, my metabolism is like through the roof, which I've had a bad metabolism for the last 7 years, I would say. I would say even when I was younger, when I was like 19, I had a really bad metabolism too. But it was really what I was eating and how I was eating that I think was causing the bad metabolism. And I would always calorie restrict and calorie restrict and calorie restrict, and then gradually my body got used to it. So eventually when I started calorie restricting again, I just gained weight. So that's when I got really frustrated last year and became a raw vegan again this year. But as for circulation, I find that I am like a little furnace. I burn really, really fast. I burn very efficiently, and I eat a lot of calories. That is, I believe, how we're supposed to be. I also believe that we're supposed to be eating more often throughout the day. I think that modern society has created this belief system that we need to feel full for a really long period of time to deal with our jobs, to deal with our kids, to deal with life in general. And yes, we need to deal with those kinds of things, but we're creatures of grazing. We should be, I mean, if you think about back, you know, in the wild, you would basically just be eating and hanging out with your family and not really worrying about anything, really, you know, helping out with your tribe and building stuff, and you'd be eating constantly, and there was no rules, don't eat on your break or whatever. We should be eating more often. We need really high nutrient foods, which are fruits and vegetables, lots of fiber, and we need to be eating it more often. A lot of people need to break that mindset that you need to be full for 4 hours, and people will tell me, oh, I had this banana smoothie in the morning and I was hungry like 2 hours later. I need something to fill me up. You don't need something to fill you up. You need to eat more food. You need to keep eating and keep letting your body know that you're thinking about it, because it needs this fuel and it needs to constantly be eating. When you eat like a really heavy breakfast, for example, bacon and eggs and toast and orange juice with all this fat and sugar combined, and it's plugging up your system and your insulin's not working, yeah, you're gonna be full for like 5 hours, because your body is like, okay, hold on, I gotta digest this, and I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna pull my water, and it doesn't make sense to me now. I mean, I was there, so I understand where people are coming from, but today I don't understand where I was coming from, because I felt like I needed to be full for hours and hours. But we're not built like that. We're built to be able, we should be eating all the time. And that's why after I have my banana smoothie, maybe an hour later, I'm snacking on bananas, I'm having some grapes, I'm eating apples, I'm eating nectarines or mangoes or whatever fruit I have around, more bananas. I eat a lot of bananas. So those are my snacks, and I'll eat those like every hour or two or whatever, whenever I feel like I need something for my body to function properly. And then I'll have my big lunch, and then I'll snack on other stuff until dinner, like more bananas, or I'll slice up cucumber, or I'll have some cherry tomatoes, whatever. I mean, I just snack on stuff throughout the day, and then I have my big salad for dinner. It's just how I believe that we should be, and we need to break that mindset of that we need to feel full for like 5 hours. It just doesn't make any sense to me anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed my super extra long video about what I experienced this year of being a raw vegan. I'm very excited for my second year. I think my goals for this year will be to tighten up my muscles, to get strong. I don't want to get too bulky. I just want to really tone up and get nice and strong. I want to focus on some other things, like more, I don't dry brush enough, and I would like to do that. You know, there's some things that I want to work on for myself, but I feel that, especially the exercise thing, that's one of my things that I really need to start working on and start getting into more of a routine. I know I do weights at night watching TV, but I want to get into more of like a more intense kind of routine. I feel like I have all this energy to expend. I'll probably need to eat more calories if I'm spending more time exercising, but we'll figure that out later. That's my goal for year 2, and I'm going to be making lots of videos. I'm going to be making my recipe book, and pretty soon I'm also writing an ebook for you guys, because I get hundreds and hundreds of questions of how did I start and what did I do, what do I buy, how do I eat. I'm just gonna write out what I did, and you guys can take it for my 2 cents and apply it to your life. However, eat more fruits and vegetables, eat more fruits and vegetables, and eat less fat. Try your hardest to eliminate animal products. If you can eliminate them, that would be super awesome. Become a vegan and eat as much raw food as you possibly can. So I hope you guys liked this video. It was super long, but I enjoyed making it. If you like my channel, click subscribe and like if you like. Comment below if you have any other questions for me that you might want to see in another video. Let me know, and follow me over on Facebook. That's where I post most of my stuff from Instagram. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, 2 grand, all at Raw Food Romance. And now I'm gonna go make a salad and do my weights. So until the next video, guys, fruit on.